China's a rising power. You're not going to be able to stop it from becoming more powerful economically and militarily. The question is, how do you manage that relationship? My name is Lawrence Korb. I'm a senior fellow at the Center for American Progress. I served as Assistant Secretary of Defense in the Reagan administration, and I've been at literally every think tank in Washington. One concern I have is people using rhetoric in the Pentagon. They're talking about air-sea battle. Well, who do they expect to battle? People are talking about we're going to have to try and contain China as we did the Soviet Union during the Cold War. And I think both of those are overreacting. There are a couple of reasons that people inflate the threat from China. First of all, it enables people to get more money in the defense budget, because people will say, well, why do you need over $600 billion? And you can point to China. Other people are very impatient. We as Americans, we have a problem, we want to solve it. We don't like to take time and deal with it incrementally. China, by very nature, is not an expansionist power. The areas they're concerned about in the East China Sea and South China Sea have traditionally been part of Chinese sphere of influence. And I think what we need to exercise is what President Obama correctly calls strategic patience. Time is on our side. Countries in the region are coming back to the United States. President Obama's just been to Vietnam. The Vietnamese want to buy American equipment. The Japanese are spending more on defense. The Filipinos, who kicked us out 20 years ago, are inviting us back to use their bases. We've got troops in Australia. So what's happening, if we're patient in the long run, we're going to be able to prevent China from becoming an expansionist power in the region. One of the things Senator Sanders has said, we don't need to spend $1 trillion modernizing our nuclear system. And basically, that sends a signal to the Chinese that maybe they ought to modernize theirs. This is the time when we need to be cutting back on nuclear weapons, particularly since we need the Chinese help to deal with the North Koreans. And so this whole idea that we want to spend $1 trillion modernizing all three legs of the triad at this point in history just makes no sense. And I applaud Senator Sanders for saying he wants to cut at least $100 billion from it. If you want to go on our website at the Center for American Progress, we have a tremendous China program. In fact, some of my colleagues are over in China now, and we have what we call this track 2 diplomacy with China to keep the communication channels open so that neither party makes a serious mistake and overreacts.